everybody, welcome to Three Members Outdoors. It's Jay and Jay, and we're going to be doing some maple syrup.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. This is the perfect time of year. Although we've had a crazy winter with some 75-degree days, we've had the absolute perfect weather these last couple of days. And the evenings have to be how cold, Jay?
Like 20 to 40 degrees.
Days are 40, evenings are 20. That's the optimal sap flowing. So we're going to show you what equipment we use here very briefly before we get it washed. This is actually a little dirty. It's been sitting in the garage all year. We went on Amazon.com a couple years ago. We bought these wonderful taps. It's a piece of flexible hose with a black plastic knob. They have a little Canadian maple leaf on them. We'll show you a equipment list in the comment section below, and also some close-up pictures so you can see what these look like. We took the lids from, these are actually from Walmart and Sam's Club. They held, what's that say?
Double chocolate buttercream icing.
Yeah, double chocolate icing. We went out and made a $5 donation. They gave us as many of these heavy-duty buckets, food-grade buckets, as we could drive back in our car. And in some of them, we drilled a small hole in the lid. And some of the lids don't have a hole at all. These ones are for storing. These ones are for keeping the bugs, dirt, and other garbage out of our buckets. We also want to tell you one thing before you get started. Make sure your equipment is as sanitary as possible. Wash it in extra hot water, let it air dry, and make sure you clean out your sink before you get started, because sinks are kind of nasty, especially if you've been dumping some stuff down there. So stay tuned. We're going to get washed up, and then we're going to show them how to start making maple syrup.
Yep.
Thanks again, guys. We'll be back to you in a few. Stay tuned.
Bye.
Hey everybody, we're back. And it is time to put the taps in. So what we've got is our Makita drill, and I actually just bought this. We should do a review on this 18-volt drill. It was a really nice purchase at Home Depot. But we washed everything with scalding hot water and some soap. So we've got our taps are rubber banded together just so they stay clean outside. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 large, perfectly clean and dry food-grade buckets. And we've got our lid with a hole in it, which corresponds perfectly to the size of our hose, as you can see. So right now, we are going to go and bug our neighbors if they'll let us tap their trees. Stay tuned. Hey guys, we're back, and we're actually out in our front yard to tap our first tree. And what we're going to show you now is essentially how to do it. So we have a little bit of equipment here still. We've got our tap, a lid, and a bucket. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you some of the specifics on how to do this right so you get the most sap out of your tree and that you also don't ruin your tree either. So we're going to go through a couple steps here in a minute and show you the full set of tapping procedures. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you with the drill two things. First, you only want to go about 1.5 inches on the drill bit. So if you're going to measure with your knuckle, about 1 inch and a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to want to drill down to about right there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to angle it slightly upward. So as you can see, the drill bit has a little bit of an angle upward. And we're going to drill into about right there. Clean your bit off, and that's done. Guys, you could see this hole is already dripping some sap, and it is obviously flowing very wonderfully. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to push the tap in just with your finger and give it a little tap on the edge, and you'll see here that Jay is going to insert that hose about 1.5 inches or 2 inches into the lid of the bucket, and then he's going to snap that on as best as possible. That's good. I heard it click, and we're set. So now we're going to position it underneath of the front here of the tree so that the sap can flow in it, and that's literally it. Okay, Jay, why don't you do tree number 2?
All right.
Back it out a little bit. Now go in a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Back it out. All right, buddy, blow out that hole. Make it nice and clean for that.
And it's flowing.
Here, let me see if I can get a good video of that. You can see, guys, that sap is already flowing. Guys, this is our neighbor, Jeff.
Did you tell him about the $1 a gallon royalty?
Yeah, I did. So Jay's gonna tap this tree, gently push it in. Make sure that that tap is pointed downwards. The black part angle is pointed downward.
The other one.
Here, watch. Point it this way. Just tap it a little gently. That's good.
That's it.
All right. Snap that lid on, buddy. So we managed to tap 6 trees. We asked all our neighbors' permission. As we do live in a semi-residential area, we had a couple of really big ones, and then a couple we know were very successful in the past. So again, one thing to point out, just for the rules, especially if you're tapping a neighbor's tree, don't tap a tree unless it's a foot in diameter. Take your tape measure. It does damage the tree when they're too small. 12 inches to 18 inches, a tree can tolerate 1 tap. If it's 18 to 24 inches, a tree can generally tolerate 2 taps. You don't want to put them right next to each other. You want to spread them out a little bit. 24 inches or larger, the tree can tolerate 3 taps. One thing you want to do too, you want to make sure you rotate where your taps are. You don't want to drill in the same hole every year. You kind of want to stagger it. And the last rule on the first tapping I found to be most successful, and again, I've been watching family or doing this myself for quite some time, is to try to tap under the largest branch on a downhill side. The other thing, again, make sure you angle your bit on an upward angle so that that sap can flow down into your tap apparatus and then ultimately into your bucket. There's a few tips though, I think, which are great. Go to your local Walmart, Sam's Club, and say, hey guys, we'll make a little donation, or can I have some of these food grade buckets, wash them out. The other thing, and I'm going to yell across the room here to see, hey Jay, don't you think it would have been easier if we'd have cleaned them at the end of the year and then stored them in a plastic bag? Do not want to do that at the same day. It makes maple syruping a heck of a lot less fun. Have your buckets cleaned, dried at the end of the year. Put them in the garage in a black Ziploc bag or black plastic bag. Make sure it's taped shut so nothing can get in it. That way the only thing you have to do is rinse them at the end of the year. We had some that were moldy. I don't even like to say, but we're very excited. The sap was flowing today, as you can see from the earlier videos, at a tremendous rate. So you're going to see here probably in a day or so, once we get the first batch of about 20 or 40 gallons, what this actually makes. So guys, thanks for tuning in to kind of the part 1 here of this video, 3 Rivers Outdoors maple syrup making. Take care.